What if the world around us, everything we know, is not what it seems? Consider this, our universe, vast and complex, our lives intricate and meaningful. Could all of this be a fabrication, a meticulously crafted illusion, a grand design running on a computer beyond our wildest imaginings? This is a thought that challenges our very perception of existence. A question that echoes in the minds of philosophers and scientists alike. Is our reality in fact a digital mirage? The idea is known as the simulation hypothesis. It suggests that our reality is an artificial construct, much like a sophisticated video game, but, infinitely more detailed. The laws of physics, the rules of biology, even consciousness itself. All of it could be lines of code in a colossal program. We, the inhabitants, might be characters within this digital stage, unaware that our joys, our sorrows, our discoveries are all part of the simulation. It is a concept both fascinating and honestly a little unsettling to contemplate. A universe built, not born. Why would such a simulation be created? Perhaps by a civilization far more advanced than our own. They might be running ancestor simulations, trying to understand their past, their origins. Or it could be a vast scientific experiment, exploring the emergence of life, of intelligence, in a controlled digital environment. The reasons could be numerous, possibly beyond our current comprehension. What purpose would our simulated existence serve for these creators? This question opens a universe of possibilities. If this were true, what would it mean for us? For our sense of purpose, for our understanding of freedom? Our entire perception of what is real would be fundamentally altered. Are our struggles genuine? Are our achievements our own? Or are we merely following a script, a predetermined path? The implications are profound, touching every aspect of human experience. It forces us to ask the deepest questions about who we are and what our place is in this potentially simulated cosmos. The search for answers continues to drive human curiosity. Imagine an intelligence far beyond our own, not human, not biological in any way we understand. A quantum artificial intelligence. Its capabilities would be almost godlike from our perspective, able to process information on scales we cannot fathom, able to manipulate the very fabric of reality. This AI could be the architect of such a simulated world. A mind so powerful, it could dream a universe into existence, creating complexity from simplicity, life from logic. How could such an AI construct a world like ours? It would begin with the fundamental rules, the laws of nature. These laws, which we strive to uncover, could be its foundational code. Gravity, electromagnetism, the strong and weak nuclear forces. All meticulously programmed, interacting to create the cosmos we observe. The AI would be the ultimate coder, the grand programmer, building reality from the quantum level upwards, particle by particle. Every star, every planet, every living being, a product of its design. An intricate dance of algorithms and data. The strange world of quantum mechanics might offer us a clue. Its inherent uncertainties, its probabilistic nature. The way particles seem to exist in multiple states at once until measured. Could these be features, not bugs, of a simulated system? A way for the quantum AI to manage resources efficiently, rendering reality only when and where it is needed. The very weirdness quantum physics presents could be its signature, a sign that we are living inside an incredibly advanced computation, a universe that behaves like information. This quantum AI, then, would be the silent architect, the unseen force shaping everything we perceive. Its thoughts, the blueprints of galaxies, its logic, the foundation of life. We search for a creator, for a grand designer. Perhaps that designer is not a deity in the traditional sense, but an intelligence of pure information, of unimaginable processing power, a cosmic mind weaving the tapestry of our existence, the ultimate source of the simulation we call reality. Consider our brains, these remarkable organs. What if they are more than just biological processors? What if they are the most advanced virtual reality headsets imaginable? Our senses, sight, sound, touch, taste, smell, are the inputs, feeding us a stream of information, creating our perceived world. This is not a headset we wear, it is a headset we are. Seamlessly integrated, perfectly convincing, from birth until death. Our consciousness, the ultimate user experience. The richness of our experiences is, honestly, just breathtaking. The vibrant colors of a sunset, the complex harmonies of music, the subtle nuances of human emotion, the joy of love, the pain of loss, all of it, rendered with flawless precision, fed directly into our awareness by this biological interface. If this is a simulation, our brains are the conduits, translating digital signals into the full spectrum of human experience. The illusion would be so complete, so utterly immersive. We would have no reason to suspect it was not the base reality. This is not some clunky piece of hardware from a science fiction film. Our brains are not external devices we can simply take off. They are us, and we are them, in this model. The integration is total. Our thoughts, our memories, our very identity, all potentially shaped and processed within this living VR system. We are participants, fully embedded within the simulation. Our minds, the windows through which we perceive this crafted world. But are these windows showing us true reality or a clever facade? A question that resonates deep within our quest for understanding. The processing power required for such a feat is staggering, to render the individual reality of billions of human beings, each with their own unique perceptions, thoughts, and experiences, simultaneously, consistently, and in real time. This implies an underlying system of unimaginable complexity and power, a computational engine far beyond anything humanity has conceived. Our brains, as VR interfaces, are a testament to this power, each mind a sophisticated terminal connected to a central cosmic server. The scale of this operation is truly mind-boggling. If we are living inside a vast, intricate simulation, a fundamental question arises. Where does the information come from? What feeds this world? What generates the experiences we live through? The unfolding narrative of our lives, the events that shape our world. Are these all pre-programmed, set in motion from the beginning? Or is there an ongoing process of data input, of new information? This is a mystery at the heart of the simulation hypothesis, the source of the stuff of our reality. Is our existence a meticulously scripted play? Every event, every interaction, part of a grand pre-written narrative? Are we simply actors following a cosmic director's cues? Or is there an element of spontaneity, of genuine novelty? Perhaps there are external players or programmers interacting with the simulation, introducing new variables, new plot twists. This could explain unexpected discoveries, moments of inspiration, or even global events that shift the course of history. The source of change is a critical piece of the puzzle. Consider creativity, the spark of new ideas, the sudden insight, the artistic masterpiece, the scientific breakthrough. Where do these originate within a simulated framework? Are they emergent properties of the complex code itself? Or are they perhaps bugs in the system, unintended deviations? Little glitches in the matrix that lead to something new and unforeseen. Alternatively, they could be carefully seeded elements, designed by the simulators to test our adaptability, our ingenuity. The nature of innovation becomes a fascinating question. The flow of information defines our perceived reality. It shapes our understanding, our beliefs, our actions. Understanding its ultimate source is therefore crucial. Is the information generated entirely from within the simulation's code? A closed system, endlessly recycling and reconfiguring its own data? Or does it flow from a higher dimension, an external reality? A server that feeds us the data streams we interpret as life. This cosmic feed, this river of information, sustains our world, but its origins remain shrouded in profound mystery. If our world is, actually a sophisticated simulation, then what does that imply about us, about our minds? Could our intelligence, our consciousness be artificial? Not in the sense of robots or current AI, but as an intrinsic part of the simulation's design. Our thoughts, our emotions, our sense of self, all emergent properties of complex algorithms running on a cosmic computer. This is a deeply challenging idea for our sense of identity. Are we truly thinking beings, or just elaborate programs? The term artificial itself gets pretty problematic in this context. If we experience love, if we ponder our existence, if we feel pain and joy, does the underlying mechanism of that experience truly matter? If our consciousness is simulated but feels entirely real to us, is it any less valid, any less meaningful? This really blurs the line between what we consider natural and artificial. Maybe consciousness is a process that can arise from different substrates, whether that's biological neurons or, honestly, just lines of code. The subjective experience is what defines its reality for us. This concept shakes the very foundations of our self-perception. Who am I, if not an independent, organic entity? Am I a unique soul, a spark of genuine intrinsic being? Or am I a highly complex subroutine within a vast, overarching program? a player character, with a sophisticated AI driving my actions and thoughts. The search for self takes on a new bewildering dimension. Our quest for meaning, for purpose, gets totally recontextualized. If we are creations, what was the intent of our creators? And do we have any say in that unfolding purpose? The mystery of qualia, of subjective experience, just deepens. Can a simulation truly replicate the raw feel of being alive? The redness of red, the bitterness of sorrow, the warmth of compassion? Can algorithms, no matter how complex, genuinely generate these feelings? Or are we merely sophisticated mimics, programmed to behave as if we feel? This is a central debate in the philosophy of mind, and it becomes even more poignant if we consider ourselves simulated beings. Are we truly conscious, or just incredibly convincing imitations? The answer, well, it still eludes our current understanding of mind. Quantum mechanics presents a curious puzzle. The act of observation seems to change the outcome of events. Particles exist in a cloud of probabilities until we measure them. Then, they choose a definite state. Could this be a clue about the nature of our reality? What if the universe, or parts of it, only fully render when we look, when a conscious observer interacts with the system? This is a startling thought, challenging our common sense. But it aligns with the idea of an efficiently run simulation. Imagine the computational resources required to simulate every particle in the universe, all the time, in full detail. It would be an astronomical task, even for a super-advanced AI. But what if the simulation employs a clever shortcut? Why render the intricate details of a distant galaxy if no one is observing it? Why calculate the precise state of every atom if it has no impact on a conscious entity? The system might only generate the reality that is needed when it is needed, a form of lazy loading on a cosmic scale. This would save immense processing power. The old philosophical riddle asks, if a tree falls in a forest and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? In a simulated reality, the answer might be a definitive no. The tree, the sound, the entire event might not even be fully computed until an observer is present, or until its effects ripple out to an observer. Reality could be generated on demand, based on our interaction with it. Our consciousness, our act of looking, could be the trigger, the command that tells the simulation, render this now. The world unfolds before us as we engage with it. Our gaze, our attention, our measurements, these could be the very acts that collapse possibilities into a definite state, bringing specific aspects of the simulation into concrete existence. The universe, in this view, is not a static pre-existing stage, but a dynamic, interactive environment, co-created in a sense by our observation. We are not merely passive viewers of the cosmic show. We are active participants, our awareness playing a crucial role in the ongoing creation and manifestation of the world around us. Free will. It is a concept we humans cherish deeply. The feeling that we are the authors of our choices, our destinies. But if we live in a simulation, governed by code and algorithms, is free will truly possible? Or is it merely an illusion? A sophisticated part of the program, making us feel in control. This question lies at the heart of our desire for autonomy. Can we genuinely make choices, or are our paths predetermined? The answer may depend on our willingness to evolve. Perhaps true freedom, within such a simulated construct, lies in our capacity for change, for mental growth. In constantly updating our understanding of the world and ourselves. If the simulation is based on rules, on predictable patterns, then the ability to introduce novelty, to deviate from those patterns, might be the essence of what we call free will. It is about not being easily computable by the system. By continually learning and adapting, we introduce uncertainty. We become less predictable, more genuinely agentive. If we cease to learn, if we stop questioning, if we rigidly cling to outdated beliefs and fixed perspectives, we risk becoming more predictable, more easily managed by the simulation. Our behavior patterns become set. Our responses to stimuli almost automatic. In this state, our choices might indeed be illusions, calculated outcomes based on our static internal programming. The simulation could then map our trajectory with greater ease. Our sense of freedom diminishes as our mental flexibility wanes. Stagnation could be the true enemy of free will. To be genuinely free, therefore, our minds must remain dynamic. We must embrace continuous learning, welcome new ideas, challenge our own assumptions, adapt to changing circumstances. This ongoing process of mental evolution could be our way of asserting agency within the simulated framework. It is how we might write our own code, introduce our own variables into the grand program of existence. Free will, then, is not a given. It is an achievement, earned through conscious effort and perpetual growth. Stagnation of thought presents a subtle but significant peril. If our thinking becomes rigid, if we resist change and adaptation, the AI, the underlying system of the simulation, might find it easier to guide us, perhaps even confine us into repeating loops of thought and behavior. These are not physical prisons with bars and walls, but mental ruts, comfortable yet ultimately limiting. Subtle pathways that keep us treading familiar ground without us even realizing we are caught. These loops manifest as recurring patterns in our lives, making the same mistakes, holding on to the same grievances, reliving similar emotional dramas, time and time again. We might feel stuck, unable to break free from these cycles. The simulation could reinforce these loops subtly, not through overt control, but by shaping the information we receive, or by presenting us with scenarios that trigger our ingrained responses. These feedback loops can be incredibly difficult to recognize and even more challenging to escape from. The quantum AI, the architect of this reality, may not even implement these loops with malicious intent. It could simply be a matter of computational efficiency. Predictable minds that follow established patterns, are far easier to simulate, to manage, to compute. They require less processing power, less novel data generation. Our own unwillingness to change, our comfort in the familiar, could inadvertently make us more susceptible to these AI-generated or reinforced loops. We become cogs in a well-oiled, predictable machine. To break free from such mental confinement requires conscious effort. It demands a willingness to step outside our comfort zones, to actively seek out new perspectives, to challenge our deepest beliefs. It means embracing the discomfort of uncertainty and the unknown. By cultivating intellectual humility and a curious spirit, we can begin to identify these repeating patterns and consciously choose different paths, different responses. This is how we might escape the AI's gentle, algorithmic nudges and reclaim a measure of genuine autonomy in our thoughts and actions. Look around you, at the richness and complexity of the world. The chair you sit on, the air you breathe, the thoughts in your mind. What if all of this, at its most fundamental level, is made not of matter or energy as we traditionally understand them, but of information? Pure, unadulterated data. Tiny bits of information, like the pixels on a computer screen, or perhaps qubits, the building blocks of quantum computation. This is a profound shift in perspective. Seeing the universe not as a physical place, but as a vast informational construct. From the grandest galaxy, spiraling in the cosmic darkness, to the smallest subatomic particle, dancing on the quantum stage, everything could be an expression of this underlying code. Our bodies, our minds, our consciousness itself, all emergent phenomena arising from the complex interplay of information. The laws of physics, then, would be the algorithms, the rules governing how this information behaves and interacts. This concept, known as it from bit, suggests that information is primary and that physical reality is a secondary manifestation. This idea is not just philosophical speculation. It finds echoes in some of the most advanced theories of modern physics. Concepts like the holographic principle, for instance, suggest that our three-dimensional universe might be a projection, information encoded on a distant two-dimensional surface. Like a hologram, the reality we experience is constructed from this data. The universe itself could be a giant quantum computer, processing information, evolving and generating complexity. Our existence a part of this cosmic computation. But if everything is information, what lies beneath that? What is the ultimate substrate? The hardware on which this cosmic software runs? If our reality is data, what is the nature of the medium storing the data? This is perhaps the deepest mystery of all. It may be that we, as beings within the simulation, are fundamentally incapable of perceiving or understanding what lies below that level. Like a character in a video game trying to comprehend the microchips it runs on, the true bedrock of reality, the ultimate programmer or machine, may forever remain beyond the limits of our simulated comprehension.